Welcome everyone, thank you so much for joining in. So today, as you can see guys, we are going to start this analysis by looking at this price action of Bitcoin along with this Y curves price cycle, because if we would monitor this price structure of Bitcoin right now here in a daily time frame, we want to find out what exactly is happening here and where we might be heading in terms of this Y curves price cycle, because many are talking about this here is an accumulation phase where the price is going to see a more of a consolidation before heading here in an upper direction, or many are also talking about the distribution, the redistribution phase where the price consolidates and starts again heading here to the downward direction. So where we are right now, is it a redistribution phase or an accumulation phase where the price starts moving again in an upper direction? So for that, what I've actually done is I have prepared some very interesting chart which is actually showing along with the example how it should look like if this is going to be a redistribution phase or an accumulation phase. And not just only that guys, I have also prepared one Elliott wave theory which is pointing out the price area where we are. We could be also seeing this Elliott wave theory playing out parallelly for Bitcoin. So this video is definitely going to be one very interesting video, so please watch it till the end. And also I would really appreciate if you could just take 2 seconds of your time and destroy that like button. And if you enjoyed my content, then I would also like to see some comments in the comment section down below. So starting this here in a daily time frame, we can see this price movement what we have seen here. This was a distribution phase, and that can be seen here in the price action, because after this distribution phase you can see we did saw some sort of a price pullback type of scenario. Because if this is going to continue and follow like just like here from this Y curves price cycle, then you can see this here is a reaccumulation phase, right, where the price consolidates and again start heading in upper direction. This here is a distribution phase just like here. And this price movement here, this could be a redistribution phase, but this is still way too early to call this a redistribution phase. And also if we would say this is an accumulation phase, it is way too early. Why? Because you can see if this is going to be a redistribution phase, right, then there is a very likely scenario the price of Bitcoin here is going to break this 30,000, and if this 30,000 line is going to get broken, then this is going to be a confirmed redistribution phase and price is going to see some more pullback before forming this accumulation phase for Bitcoin. But right now, since the price here is showing some sort of impulsive movement, if this wants to turn out as an accumulation phase for Bitcoin, then this upper line around 41,000 must be broken, because if this is going to happen, then this is definitely going to play out as an accumulation phase from Y curve. Because you can see here there are different type of accumulation scenario. Let me show you here. If we would look at this price structure, you can see here guys, this is also an accumulation phase. And right now what we are witnessing with price action Bitcoin, you can see here the way the price of Bitcoin is moving around this area, right? You can see here this price movement to the upside. An example from this accumulation phase from Y curve, this is pretty similar scenario, because if this is going to play out as an accumulation cylinder, right, you can see we have already entered the phase C and we could be heading towards the upper line area. So unless this upper line area, the 41,000 resistance line, is not going to get broken and price finds support above it, right, this is not going to be called as an accumulation. So that's why unless the price is not breaking this key line of resistance here to the upside or also here to the downside, the support line, we cannot call this a distribution or a reaccumulation phase from Y curve. So that's why guys, unless the price is not breaking this key level of resistance and support, this is way too early to call this a redistribution phase or an accumulation phase, because we are aware if the support line here to the downside is going to get broken, then according to this example from this Y curve price cycle, this is going to be a redistribution phase. And according to this example here, redistribution phase is going to look somewhere like this. You can see a redistribution phase. Unless the upper line is not going to get broken, we are not calling this a accumulation phase. So as long as the price stays between this resistance line to the upside from 41,000 and support line here to the downside from 30,000, we cannot call this a distribution phase or an accumulation phase playing out for Bitcoin. So let's wait and see what the price of Bitcoin is going to do in between these price ranges. And not just only this guys, I have prepared one chart that might also be playing out here for Bitcoin in a weekly time frame. Let me show you that. So you can see guys, this is price action of Bitcoin in a weekly time frame. I've also used this log scale, because right now if you would monitor this price movement, you can see guys very clearly that this price movement right now with Bitcoin could be actually forming this Elliott wave impulsive movement, because according to this Elliott wave impulsive move, we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is an impulsive move, right? And inside this impulsive move is going to be smaller corrective move. 0.1, 0.2, 0.2 is always a corrective move. Again, another movement here to the upside. 0.3 impulsive move. So 1, 3, and 5 are impulsive move. 2 and 4 are corrective move. So if we would look in our case, right, you can see this here, 0.1, right, 0.1 Elliott wave, 0.2, this is 0.3. So if this is a 0.4, the corrective wave, because 0.4 and 0.2 are a corrective wave. In our case, this here is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, and 0.5. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to name these areas. There we go. So you can see here, guys, now this corrective move, what we are witnessing around this 0.4, if this is to follow, right, following this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulsive move from this Elliott wave, this impulsive move theory, then the price here still has one impulsive move left before an actual trend reversal starts playing out for Bitcoin, because according to this Elliott wave, the price here could be falling in this manner, and this final movement here is still open for Bitcoin price action, because only then this Elliott wave impulsive move theory is going to end. So that's why if this is going to play out here, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulsive move from this Elliott wave theory, then also this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve could be making sense, because we have said every time when we have seen price showing any sort of a rejection or correction, the correction has only happened an actual trend reversal after reaching the top of the channel. So that's why if this is going to be playing out as a impulsive move from this Elliott wave, right, then we could be also ending our journey only after reaching the top of this Bitcoin logarithmic growth curve that could bring Bitcoin above 100,000 price levels. So that's why, guys, let's see how this impulsive move, this 0.5, is going to play out for Bitcoin, because in a weekly time frame right now, this pullback is also making a sense if this is a corrective move 0.4 area, right? So after that, we should see some impulsive move playing out. So that's why if this impulsive move from this Elliott wave is going to play out and price here is also going to break the resistance around this 41,000, find proper support above it, then this is actually going to be a accumulation phase, and after accumulation phase we are going to see some more movement here in the upper direction playing out for Bitcoin following this 0.5 impulsive wave from Elliott wave. So let's see how this one is also going to play out for Bitcoin. So now let's also look at this price structure in a daily time frame. So you can see, guys, yesterday we did talk about this one scenario which was pointing out that if the price of Bitcoin is going to see a movement in an upper direction, then we know this here could be playing out as a falling wedge, and the price here should see an impulsive move after breaking out of this upper line area of this falling wedge, because this upper line area did acted as a resistance. So we said if the upper line is going to get broken yesterday, right, we could be seeing some impulsive move playing out for Bitcoin, and this is exactly what we are witnessing right now with price action, because the price of Bitcoin right now is around $35,480. So what in case if there is going to be any sort of a pullback, then we have to be aware that any sort of a pullback, right, the line which previously acted as a resistance could be acting as a support, and the trend here is going to continue here in upward direction, because doesn't matter whichever way you look at this price movement here, guys, you can see this here is still pointing out that we could be moving here in this manner following this ascending channel in a daily time frame, because without this resistance line, because the resistance has already been broken, we can simply look this as a higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern type of scenario. So any sort of a pullback, we said the resistance line here, the upper line area from this falling wedge, right, could be acting as a support, and along with that also this lower line area from this ascending channel and also the upper line area of this falling wedge could be acting as a support, and price could see again a movement here in an upper direction. So let's see how this one is going to play out for Bitcoin. And if you look at this in a bit different way, no problem, you can see here. So now if we would look at this in a 4-hour time frame, what we can do again is we can simply add this ascending channel, because I just showed you in a daily time frame that this ascending channel was making a lot of sense, right? Because you can see here we could be forming this higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern. And if you look at this here now in a 4-hour time frame, you can see only after reaching the top of the channel, the price has seen a pullback that brought us again back towards the lower line area of this ascending channel in a 4-hour time frame. So right now, that's why if this trend here wants to continue in an upper direction, what we want is we want to break out of this central line of this ascending channel, because this central line has acted as a strong support, resistance, support, and now you can see this exact central line is acting as a resistance around 35,700. So if the price of Bitcoin does manage to break here the central line as well, right, then there is a very likely scenario that this trend here could be continuing here in an upper direction, because you can see here the price movement what we are witnessing with Bitcoin clearly is forming a very nice double bottom type of scenario as well. So if this is going to continue and price here is going to break this neckline area here, then this is going to be a very bullish scenario playing out for Bitcoin. But if you are looking for a short-term price movement or price target for Bitcoin, you can simply add this one scenario, which is going to be looked here in this manner by using this Fibonacci extension line, because this extension line actually shows us the upward or the potential price target for Bitcoin to the upside right now. Because this here, you can see if we would monitor this 100% Fibonacci extension line at 36,600, this line acted as a strong resistance line, and then the price of Bitcoin saw a pullback which ended exactly at this 0.382 Fibonacci retracement level around 32,600. So if this trend is going to continue, the next potential target is again going to be this 100% Fibonacci extension level that is sitting around $36,610, right? This line here. And if any sort of a pullback is going to happen, the lower Fibonacci line here, the 0.786 is going to be a support line that is sitting around 35,200 area. So if this trend is going to continue, our personal target is going to be this 1.618, that is $40,610. So let's see how the price of Bitcoin is going to develop around this area. But as I've already said, any sort of a pullback, this same Fibonacci lines could be acting as a very strong support line here to the downside as well. So what we want for now is this price here to continue this price movement in this manner, because if you look at this only around this area in an hourly time frame, then you can see exactly what I'm trying to show you here, guys. So this line here in an hourly time frame is forming this very nice ascending channel, right? Higher highs, higher lows continuation pattern. So any sort of a pullback, we could test this 35,000 area or the lower line area of this ascending channel and again start moving here in an upper direction. So these are some of the scenarios I thought sharing with you in today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope this video was helpful enough. If that's the case, then please hit the like button, and for those individuals watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button and the bell. So by saying this, I'm signing out. My name is Anup. Bye bye, guys.